Just feel off. So if you're Midnight, and that's where they were so good, especially the Pro League qualifier, with Search and Destroy and Control, 2, 3, 5 for them, it's got to be the money.
At least here, the good thing with Zuma, someone like Search, he's just going to kind of fly and try to have those. I mean, that's like what we saw from TJ last year. Like, you're going to have two guys that typically want to be your entry players, your first blood, or you're finding a first blood. Just early interactions. We'll see how they kind of mesh when we get into Search. But no, it's an interesting point of view. Just the 2 and 3 might be really difficult.
Well, just think about the coordination it takes to retake a control site, right? It's just very tough. But we'll get there when we get there. Here we go. Into the first map, and well, already that kill feed, 5 dead for OpTic Gaming.
And this is one way to get time in the first hard point. You kill the other entire team, and then you get a nice clean setup. But we'll see how long they're able to hold. But what a break there from Midnight, as they are doing damage early. Now, Envoy trying to control through rock side, as that'll be a key position when we think about rotating towards that second hard point. We've seen more teams start to kind of hold from the front.
Yeah, that's it. And, you see Brat just trying to control top halls. Midnight back into that game, and watching that mini-map, you can see number 2, that's Envoy just trying to control this side, make sure they have garage control. A couple of players do spawn out. He might get some bad timing or some good timing. We'll see how this works out as Zuma trying to move around. He does have the vision pulse. We talked about that, so it will be Crim on the Annihilator. And well, Zuma going to be able to find one, checks his front, but his teammate is there trying to find a second. Nice kills by Zuma on rotation. There's just one player left. A great hold so far from OpTic.
And something as simple as that, like a nice big play from Zuma early in a game, you feel like that's got to give him confidence and maybe the team a little bit of confidence early.
Yeah, you're right. Just don't overthink things. Just play your game, right? That's what I was saying. Just get your kills. As long as you aren't struggling statistically, they're going to compete, especially in hardpoint.
Well, despite the fact that Midnight strike first and get such a great amount of opening time, it's OpTic Gaming that not only retain really the latter half of that first hard point, but they have early control here inside a garage. Scump and Crim combining to pick up 2, is now they'll lock it down, and Midnight's going to be forced to rotate early. So what looks really good for Midnight, at least in the opening 20-30 seconds, has fallen apart a bit.
Yeah, we talked about on Envoy and Jet Li, that SOG duo. This is sort of a map where it's tough for SOGs, right? Guys like Crim, who are 6 and 3 with those ICRs, just a lot of long-range fights. This might actually favor OpTic early on. Just do the map choices.
And I really just kind of like the map variety with regards to that. Like, what is strong? Like ICR, Matic, SOG, like you can take over depending on what map breakdown you have in this best of 5. But we'll get focus now back to fences, as it looks like the break comes in behind TJ Haley, who gets 2, allows Scump to get in position here in garage, and he keeps on flying forward. Once again, just early control from OpTic as they find all the kills.
Yeah, they did a wonderful job breaking on through her. They really controlled that top balcony, which allowed them to break this setup of Midnight. Now a 50-point lead, and this is where things can get kind of scary. Scump now starting to work towards streaks. He's on a 6 spree at 10 and 4. This is what we were saying, right? As soon as you don't have dashes, someone's got to step up. Right now, it's Scump and Crim.
And he's like, guys, I'm on streaks. Somebody set me up, but that is not the gunfight you want to take.
Tough position now. He's got basically a 1 versus 2, able to win 1, can't get away with his life.
He was, 25 off or something like that when he ends up falling. But OpTic Gaming will now eclipse the 100-point mark, as Midnight still struggling to find really any kind of time. But they'll be set up at Rock, and they've got a nice spread, at least across this top part of the minimap. It's going to be Karma that's trying to break in through water. Can he find an opening? Almost slides and gets 2, but the disruption's not going to matter because look how far back the rest of the OpTic Gaming squad is.
Yeah, 3 players go down. Parzilian with that ICR. Nice shots on a Karma. Going to be able to find one. The contest is in, but Jet Li is there. This is a pretty solid hold, but there comes Zuma, able to find 2. Scump with another one. Great break by OpTic. As soon as you think Midnight is going to get right back into the game, a great break, and it was led by Zuma, who was able to find 2 kills.
And you think about it, I mean, the 2 kills here prove massive at Rock, and if you think about the garage, he got the 2 entry kills in rotation, so I know it's nothing that flashy. He's 8 and 8, but he's found a couple of flurries, which has been
This is all you want. Just hit a 1.0, right? This is what I'm saying. Just individually focus on yourself, get the kills, will make the correct plays, rotate. You just do what you have to do on the map. Feel comfortable. A great first set of rotation hills by OpTic.
Well, we're getting close to the point where the game really starts to get interesting when these specialist weapons start to come into play. Both teams getting close. You can see Envoy very close to Battery. On the other end, Crim6 about to pick up that Annihilator. Who's going to step up and make the game-changing play? That's one thing to focus on with Crim6 too, because typically that Annihilator, that one-hit gun, that's in Dashy's hands.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Midnight doing a good job getting some control. OpTic able to break on in. Just Envoy just trying to stay alive. Top wall, able to find one on a Karma. Brack with another one. He's able to get that War Machine, but just back and forth, right? This is what we talked about with this first hit.
OpTic trying to push the lead back out after Midnight made a run. Everybody really excited. I know there's a lot of OpTic fans out there excited to see what they're going to do, but I think the biggest question mark is Midnight. Like, what are we going to see from this Midnight team? What performance are we going to get out of these young guys?
It's a big set of kills right now, and you talked about Krim with that Annihilator. The rotation was coming in through Garage. Karma did a wonderful job in the spawn towards that back statue, but now he's going to have a lot of pressure on him. That number 7, he's able to find one, but he's going to get traded out, and you can see the purple arrows are going to spawn up. Jet Li with the grab slam, able to find one. And this is Midnight's opportunity to break on into the game. 40 seconds here will only put them down by 20. Lamagod trying to lock down the lobby. Parzilian with that ICR. A great break, and it all started with them fighting for those back spawns, able to take care of Karma. Karma right now, 8-17. You know, I've heard a lot of great things about his performances online, but that was with Dashy, right? How are things changing around? Maybe Damon is in a tough spot where he's making some different plays.
You never know with the trickle-down effect, like who it hurts more. Like, if you have a change like that, like who does it really affect? And that's tough to tell sometimes. I mean, that's more like the inner workings of the squad as they try to figure things out with Zuma. But Midnight just will not go away. They keep staying in this game. And it's like they're one good specialist play away from taking a lead. Like, one good play, and they're back in it. But now, you've got 55 seconds on this hard point. Midnight's inside. Trophy out. Brack doing pressure at the front. He's had a monster game at 21-14 as well. Can they hold this early flood, though, from OpTic Gaming?
Yeah, there we go. Zuma, Karma, everybody's doing their one-on-ones. Envoy with the War Machine trying to find anything he can. Only connects with one. Now it's TJ's turn. He's able to find one in the shed. And this is the second time where we've rotated defenses where OpTic, it didn't look like they had control early on, and they've just been able to break the Midnight setup. This is a couple of times where Midnight's probably need to watch his back and say, this was our opportunity to break on in the game and maybe get that lead. Scout now able to find 2 with that slide punch, able to connect onto him, and now it's Karma's turn. Now he's on a force free, starting to turn things around.
You know how tough those battles are. Just people sliding in your face. You see Scump and Karma making the play. Karma, right after you kind of called him out and struggling early, he started to go off, right? 4 kills in a row. He's now got 13 on the board. He's 320 off streak. Still, he needs to reload his ICR, though, because it's giving me anxiety.
Yeah, 9 bullets. That's all he needs.
Oh, he's got a Maddox, so he's all right. He's all right.
So now, Midnight, they have early rock control, and once again, they're very far pushed out. But OpTic can then push that garage side. Here's Zuma. Parzilian with that Annihilator, able to find a couple. Can't find any more. And as you said, I mean, Midnight just will not go away. As soon as it seems like it's 50 or 60 points for OpTic, Midnight do a great job rotating. Karma trying to slide on in, not able to find anything.
Just keep it close and then try to clutch down the stretch. They've done a much better job this time holding on. You know, OpTic behind the 2-piece from Zuma last time got them in the rock. This time, it's all but a perfect hold from Midnight, and now a chance to take a lead in this game. You've got a lightning strike on Brazilian as well. The ICR hipfire is working. Now he's fully streaked out, and in a couple of ticks, there it is. Midnight now out in front. Their first lead since the opening 15 seconds of the game.
And you have those streaks as well. Envoy trying to earn some, and he's got a full set of streaks. This is scary
Lordy.
now.
Oh, Lordy.
And we haven't touched on it too much. You called it, but Brack, we haven't watched his point of view much, but he is 28-18.
Yeah, since the get-go. He's
having
really
a wonderful game, but Zuma get a takedown Envoy right there. Brack, yeah, as you said, that's his 30th. He's on 6 in a row. Man, if they get 3 sets of streaks, this is going to be so tough for OpTic to get back into this one.
Streaks across the board for Midnight. OpTic Gaming going to have to battle back in the final moments of this map 1. Let's get you an Astro Gaming listen in with OpTic Gaming.
Nice one. Same streaks, more streaks.
We're good.
2-0.
Top open.
Boy, watch that hill.
Nice, last guy top open.
Dead. Last guy top open.
Yeah,
They're going.
Go rotate, get towards Lambo.
Go Lambo.
The hill. I have vision, I have vision.
They're gonna have ground pound.
Roll done. Nice shot.
I got a trophy down.
Yeah, alright.
Get in water. Get in water.
Drone's here.
Hellstorm. Get inside.
Oh, deep water.
Yo, I have crash.
Deep water, Brazilian, I spawned here.
We're good. Water.
One shot, nice.
Let's go,
Another
boys.
water. I
Let's
think
go.
there's another. I think there's another water.
Yeah, water. Deep water, Brazilian.
Keep on side.
Drones are killing
Keep on side.
Water. I
gotta watch front.
We can water.
Damon, you gotta kill.
Spawn connector. This one's
Front dead.
I'm visioning. I'm visioning. One could have spawned the back, 100%.
What? He's
Lightning.
Lightning killed us.
What?
3 at hill.
Wait, play live, Tommy.
One shot. I got one.
Look, grab the into the back.
One shot. Back.
Oh, black.
One shot.
Are dead.
I got stun.
I'm looking at hill. Don't stop.
Back left.
Front.
Dead.
Front. Watch out, mine Lambo. Three Lambo.
Yeah,
Three.
both behind Lambo.
I'm gonna get Annihilator again. Nice. Good job. They're gonna be wrong. Maybe in the back. In the back.
OpTic are still alive, and you only have a couple of streaks left. So considering everything that was invested from Midnight, OpTic still somehow in this game.
Yeah, and one thing that's been so well for OpTic Gaming has been this Fences Hill. Crims, I don't know what that red dot was, but that was weird. But here we go. TJ trying to attack through this well side. Crim already inside that shed, just trying to stay alive, trying to buy time. Midnight gonna get on the hill. They just need 19 more seconds. TJ trying to find a kill, but Izuma is able to find one. TJ trying to stay alive, but you talked about the streaks. The lightning comes in. This could be a great opportunity for Midnight, and Hellstorm as well. He should be able to get 2, maybe 3. He's just hovering it right now, and there it is.
That's likely the dagger. Nobody from OpTic in range, and it's Midnight that get on the board first as they stun OpTic. Map 1.
And at the end of it, it just came down to the slaying. You have
Especially the streaks down the stretch.
an Envoy plus 10, Parzilian around that as well. Brack, who had such a great game, he was around plus 10.
And I know we have the factor of Zuma coming as a sub, but one thing I don't think the desk touched on much, and you can probably speak to it from your pro career, but the game can be different online versus LAN. It absolutely can. And this is a team in Midnight. I know it's been a couple weeks, but they had a full week with 6 series on LAN at the Pro League qualifier. OpTic haven't been on LAN since Vegas.
So they were probably scrimming, right? They had a ton of series.
Yeah, exactly. So like that has to matter, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does. I think, as you said, it's definitely a different game, right? It may take some time, for these guys to adjust, just being on that stage again. I mean, they're veterans, but yeah, like you said, just...
Well, it's just something, maybe it doesn't affect you long term, but like maybe the first couple maps, and they get stun map 1. So incredible performance from Midnight. They go off. 3 players get streaks down the stretch, and you saw how crucial they were. They're setting up for Garage. You saw 3 from the Lightning, then 3 the Hellstorm late. But let's take a look at social media, guys. We asked you online, the hashtag CWLPS4 on Twitter, what to expect with really Zuma coming in on this OpTic roster. Is from Day's Table. I think a sub in both of our channels, buddy. It won't be that much of an issue. Zuma's a seasoned pro and will fill in just fine under the knowledge of Krim and Teep. He may. So far a struggle, but yeah, you can't put it all on him.
Yeah.
Hunter MLG, I don't think they will struggle. It will definitely be more difficult for them. But Dashy is not someone you can easily replace, and that is, that is very, very true.
Everybody talked to you, right? I mean, we know what Dashy could do. We saw it at Vegas. One of the best players in the world.
And the final one, Zuma is such a talented player. He'll fit perfectly with the squad. Maybe some jitters, but after that, he's going to take off. And yeah, maybe it's just first game jitters and he'll be good to go. But the fit perfectly is the part I guess I kind of have an issue with, just because of the role thing. It isn't a puzzle piece that he plugs in perfectly to this OpTic puzzle. That's just not how it works. He's a different slot on the roster.
Yeah, and that's what I was sort of worried about was hardpoint, right? If they drop a hardpoint, this kind of...
Well, because you were worried about 2 and 3, so hardpoint makes it even scary once you drop it.
As soon as you drop a hardpoint, they see it tough. They have that teamwork. Again, I think there was just some players who struggled at specific times. Even Zuma, I mean, at one point he was even, and then he went to about 13 and 20, started to tail off, brought it back, but there was just slaying power on the side of Midnight.
It's just like... Yeah, Midnight just took over the game. I mean, once they took the lead finally, think about it. They didn't have the lead. They were up 12-0 or something to start, and then it's 170 to 170 or something where they cracked the lead. But over the course of the game, I think 3 times I mentioned they're doing just enough to stay in the game. They stayed in striking distance. They never went down more than 30 to 50, and that is one big specialist play, one big streak away from taking over. And well, they got more than one big play. They went off.
Yeah, and I think if you want to look at one specific play for me from OpTic side, I think when Scump was close to streaks, if he doesn't go around the back, right, he's 135 off, he's just on the hill, just plays for those streaks because we know how strong they can be. We just saw it. You remember, at that point, they were up about 60, 70 points. They won 2 hills in a row. They won Garage and Fences.
I think what happened, both his teammates dropped in front of him, and he just thought he maybe had to make a play.
Yeah, if you get streaks there, the game's probably different.
Who knows? Yeah, certainly could be. They can bail you out. But, I mean, even on the streak stuff, I mean, we've seen some questionable use. A lot at the Pro League qualifier, a lot of Vegas. Like, at least what we saw there, like, they got a lot out of them, at least in the final moments of that game.
You even saw, I believe it was Barzilian, and when we were in that listening, he was just staying alive water, and he was hovering the drone squad just right outside the garage window, right? Like, he wasn't challenging. He was just like, I'm going to put my drone squad here.
Yeah, fight that. Have fun.
Exactly. And that's when you saw that lightning come on in.
So now OpTic, they've got to think things through and see how they answer back in search. I think what I'm most excited for, though, is likely the control. I believe OpTic went something like 7-1 at Vegas, and I think it was 6-0 for the Midnight side, so that could be a big battle. Search, it'll be interesting because on one side of it, you know, you still have your standout players in Search and Destroy, but the guy that really shined for OpTic Vegas was Dashy. I mean, TJ was good too, but Dashy was #1 across. He had what, like a 2.17, 2.2, somewhere in that ballpark in Search?
I think what he does, right?
How do you replace that?
He opens up lanes with snipers, right? It's not like he's going in, he's finding first bloods. Who are you going to snipe if you're OpTic? Maybe it's Karma who picks it up. We've seen him snipe in the past, but that's another weapon in a different game mode that Dashy brought.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally the best Search player, at least statistically, at Vegas. And that's just gone. That's got to be tough to replace. And I believe on the other side, who was it? I was talking to JP earlier about who kind of the standout was at Search and Destroy.
It was Envoy, yeah.
Was it Envoy? That's what I was trying to remember. Yeah, it was Envoy, and what did he do? He posted a 1.63 search at the Pro League qualifier. So, and if you take a look at their events, it was actually OG with the highest overall KD at Vegas in search, and Midnight was the highest at the Pro League qualifier. So both teams have been solid in search, one unfortunately missing their superstar.
Yeah, Midnight now on that attack. Well, Karma not sniping, but is able to find that first blood. But a very spread out attack from Midnight. You have a couple of players B, but the other two just spreading out. Scump able to find another one. Crim's it's some really bad timing. The player is planning right behind him.
He's like, oh.
He's going to turn now. But yeah, that is a tough spot now. Do you challenge? He's going to go for it. He has no help right now. Nobody there to help Crim. He's all alone, and Jet Li able to find two. Now this is a 3 versus 3. Crim, though, is still up, just trying to find this player. Jet Li has found his third of the round. Envoy with another one. Just trying now is a 1 versus 2. Scump all alone.
And this is not easy. He's got to try and fly through this doorway and find the kill. Jet Li's going to back up. He's going to wrap all the way back through. And they're just not giving Scump anything. You got to love the way they play that. Now there's only 10 seconds remaining. He just has to check. Knows he isn't on it. Round sealed for Midnight.
That is so unfortunate.
And that's like, yeah, if Crim, you look right instead of left, and that goes a whole lot differently. And he just had to be like, when that got played out, I know Crim was probably like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, it was just such a weird round for Midnight. They literally spread the map. Karma and Scump both get kills towards the middle, so they don't have any
the big
pressure.
two-piece.
Yeah, Jet Li just
and that
found those couple of players.
And they're both looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
Like both of them looking are out kind of towards the first hard point there in Courtyard. And that's just too easy. Oh, then he actually, I didn't realize he actually got a third right after it. Wow. Well, that's the play. That's very much the play of the game. Play of the game feature doesn't always get it right. That time it absolutely did. Well, Midnight strike first. Now can OpTic answer back on offense? And you can see the defense-heavy stack from Midnight towards the A side. B wide open right now for OpTic.
Yep, now they have all the information. They're set to rotate on over. You have Barzilian and Brack starting to work towards that backside. Llama up top. Bomb being planted for OpTic. We're going to have a 5 versus 5. The key player for OpTic right now is going to be Karma, right? You see that number 8 just trying to lock down the flank. Make sure no one pushes through their lobby. You have Crim in the water. Karma, he's going to get taken down. Jet Li able to find another one. Barzilian is going to take down Crim. Now a 3 versus 5 for Midnight.
And they are just tearing through OpTic. Nobody has dropped, not a single trade for OpTic. Zuma last up. He gets cut down. And the slate just wiped clean. Midnight, what a retake there. Like, it doesn't get easier than that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? In these sort of 5-on-5 situations where Midnight has gone through it 100 times, for OpTic, you're inserting a new piece. It's a different system.
And I know we're talking about the Zuma thing a lot because it's a big deal. And it's not like he got here. They got here last week and they've been working together. They started playing today. So it's just, it is tough. It is tough. And that's not to knock Midnight coming in here and surprising OpTic. They are playing incredible, but it's just interesting kind of seeing OpTic trying to figure things out. Just kind of working from scratch in a way when you got a new person slotted into the roster.
Well, once again, it was Jet Li and Envoy with those SOGs. That SOG duo. working together to find that first blood on the Karma. That really opened things up for them.
Envoy's 4-0. We talked about his search and destroy prowess. Well, can he pick up any streaks behind it? But it's a first blood in from Parzillion, and they'll take the advantage, Joe.
Yeah, but you have Llama. Yeah, as I say, he has 2 on him on the flanks. He'll be able to bring it back. 4 versus 4. Bomb planted. Now what does Opt to do? It looks like they're going to try and regroup. Maybe go through that connector. Envoy trying to find one as he's going to go back towards his lobby. Yep, great timing on the Scum. That's a free kill. 4v2. And once again, you're getting another example of these sort of retake situations where you can just see Midnight has the clear advantage on what exactly they want to do. But Crim and Karma, 18 seconds to work with. Just don't know if there's enough time. They have to run into that trap, and now it's Karma all alone.
The only silver lining maybe for OpTic there is you kill Envoy, who was about, I think it was 125 off streaks, so you at least make sure no streaks come in. But outside of that, it has been all Midnight. It's interesting because we talk all the time, you know, in 4v4 about, you know, if one person was out, you sub somebody in, like it, I don't know, you can kind of, do you think it's, I guess I'm trying to say, do you think it's like harder in 5v5 or easier? Like, you think from a percentage standpoint, it's like less of your team.
Well, based off what we've seen, right, any team that's had role issues, they've struggled, right? Any team that just can't figure it out, they have struggled big time in 5 versus 5. But I just think whenever you replace someone, I don't think that's correct. I mean, whenever you replace someone, it's tough. It just is what it is.
3v3 now. Ton of time remaining on the clock. Nice one-on-one win there from Brack. Well, he actually trades it after TJ did find a kill.
Parzillion takes him down. Only a lightning, though. And a big round for OpTic.
Yeah, well, you get one on the board. Yep. You need to get a victory, start kind of climbing back into this. But yeah, the team kill and the kind of the whiffs there with the Mozu, Brazilian's behalf, lead to something working now.
Were you saying like they have to play a certain way because Parzillion?
Oh, I was talking to Envoy before Hot Mic, and I said, like, I can't remember if it was you or name, but someone kind of compared them to United Infinite Warfare. Like, this team sort of came out of nowhere. Yeah. They were really scrappy, flying around. And he was like, well, we actually, because of our main AR, we actually play a lot slower than people realize. I guess I was a little bit surprised to hear as he's breaking down. But he also said at times in hardpoint, they do start just bashing their head into hardpoints. He's like, yeah, sometimes we play like an AM team still.
Well, I mean, you can see right off the start, Envoy and Jet Li just go right down the middle. Like, you can see the positioning of Jet Li. They just take mid-control, but OpTic is able to find that first blood. Jet Li, though, has been the key playmaker. He's going to take it down. This is looking like a very clean round for OpTic. 2 versus 5. Parzillion and Lamia trying to find anything. They are able to find one. They're bringing on back, but that looks like it's going to be it as Scump wins the one-on-one.
Now they string a couple rounds together, get the fist bumps out, and maybe things start to click a little bit. You have to think, I mean, Midnight, I think we're definitely going to see them improve a ton over the course of the Pro League, just with the amount of pro teams they're going to be playing. But if you think just maybe isolated within this series, the team that might start to click and improve is actually maybe OpTic, just because, you know, they're kind of figuring things out with Zuma as they go. You might just see them start to feel a little bit better about it as we get deeper into this best of 5.
That's going to be really weird, right? So you're going to have 4 matches this week, and then if Dashy does come back next week, it's like, oh, we were finally comfortable with Zuma, and Dashy's back.
Yeah, I think regardless of the outcome, they're going to be pretty thankful to get him back on the squad. That's for sure.
Scump once again, 7-4. Zuma not find a kill just yet. As you said, OpTic find a couple of rounds. Lamia throws a stun out so they know where OpTic is. Look at OpTic's position in those top halls. Now, where are they going to choose? Where are they going to go towards? A or B? It looks like that B side is open. You have one player. Brack is there. Now a 3 versus 4. Bomb is being planted.
Can they get the retake? Brack wants to get involved. Has the lightning to work with. TJ of OpTic just holding mid.
It's a huge round for OpTic if they can bring this one back. And TJ not able to. He waits for TJ, able to find one. Now a 2 versus 3 ball, but Parzillion finds Crim. That was a huge kill from Parzillion. If TJ was just able to stay alive and win another one, maybe they have a chance. Not going to do it. Crash was popped as well.
Yeah, so he gets a couple shots in, but at that range with the SOG and the TAC 5 boost in, I don't even think he hit his actual HP. And that's a big one for Midnight then. You know, a couple rounds in a row there for OpTic. Midnight now answer back, and we'll see the big kill on the other side.
Well, because, right, TJ gets a kill. has the help of Scump, and those players are focused on TJ. They have to get him out of that table.
Crim wins that
is just
1v1.
staying alive. Right, it's way different, right? There's only 18 seconds left in a 2 versus 2.
And I don't know what Crim had on his class, but you can see the thermal massive advantage there in water.
Yeah, Parzilian's like, thank you.
Yeah. 2-round advantage once again for Midnight. They've got a bit of a split here. 2 players were headed towards A. Envoy gets some information. They're not going to push it. You have Zuma here. Can Zuma get another kill on the board? They're just dancing with it, but Scump is there with the help from mid-connector. Envoy next up. He's going to find an opening. And Zuma's going to get picked as well, so what was a first blood for OpTic Gaming now? Well, it evaporated for a moment. Thankfully, Crim able to tack it on, though, and make it a 3v3.
I mean, it's just Jet Li and Envoy, right? On their offensive rounds, they just find openings through the middle of the map. Like, he gets behind him, finds a kill, and that sort of changes the round. And now he spots 2 in connector. This is going to be such a huge play. That's going to be 1. Can he find the second on the Karma? Nobody has the help of Brack. Now a 1 versus 3 for Crim, and that's going to be the 5th round on the board for Midnight.
Envoy 7 and 3. He was the standout in the Pro League qualifier and search. And it's just sometimes, like, I don't know, you feel like early in titles, just sometimes people, if you're an aggressive player, sometimes people understand the timing's a little better. You find those holes, you find those gaps, and you could really punish people early in a game. And it just seems like he's getting into spots that OpTic just is not ready for.
Well, what? They got the first blood on the Jet Li, I think, and that's sort
and then
of
next
the
thing you know,
guy.
Envoy's right behind the rock.
Exactly. It's really just him and Jet Li just finding those openings. And as long as
this map's tough. I mean, it feels like a 9-lane map.
Yeah. OpTic starting to work the middle. Parzilian's going to back on down. Jet Li with 1 with that grab slam. Brack as well. And now a 3 versus 4.
You have man advantage of your Midnight. Can they close it out here and take a 2-0 advantage? Annihilator now popped. Zuma about to meet his maker if he tries to go top steps.
Look at Karma. Look at Karma's going all the way around. Number 8. He found an opening. This should be a huge play on a Parzilian. Able to find 1. Now a 3v3. We talked about those openings for Midnight. Karma able to find 1. Can he win this gunfight on the Jet Li? No, he gets taken down.
So now it's on Zuma and Crim to clutch. Zuma's 1 and 6 because then, yeah,
he's
how you
out
see
of
the
Brack.
streaks. Now Zuma.
He's 9 and 2. I haven't even noticed. Brack is a sneaky assassin.
Yes, we've been focusing on Envoy's openings, but yeah, game 1 and 2 just filthy from Brack. But now with the Annihilator popped and 5 in the chamber, Crim 6 has to clutch this 1v2. 25 seconds. Here we go.
Bomb. He doesn't have bomb as well.
Yep. He's just got to go. Here's the drone squad lighting in, so they're going to be aware of his position.
Okay, so he's still alive. 12 seconds left. That's going to be a kill. He still has time to get to a bomb as well. Oh.
Not able to do it. Midnight. Now up 2-0, Joe. Now up 2-0, and what a huge first series this would be to the newcomers to the Pro League.
Because those streaks that he's gotten has changed the game in both the hardpoint and the search and destroy. Really, in that hardpoint, he gets those streaks. Envoy gets streaks as well. That changed everything for OpTic.
If anyone wondered if maybe this Midnight team, you know, kind of amateurs, first time coming to the Pro League, would be intimidated at all by the OpTic Gaming side, the resounding answer is no.
Well, we always talk about, you know, on the desk and how just veterans are sort of used to this. And at times they get lazy. They don't bring the energy to the stage. Midnight is like, let's go. Like, I want to be here and play every single match every day. This is still a new experience for them, and that could change things, the intensity that they're bringing in the match.
And just to set this stage for the control once again, Midnight were a perfect 6-0 at the Pro League qualifier. OpTic Gaming were 7-1 at Vegas. And I know stats for OpTic, you can take them for what they're worth considering they're playing with their sub right now, but still, 2 good control teams fighting it out.
Got a good start for Midnight, only dropping 1 life off the break. OpTic starting to work towards this B side. Envoy with a nice play, able to find 2 snaps on the Crim as well.
He beams Crim there, he is feeling it.
But you already have a 6-kill advantage in Parzilian, able to win that 1 versus Crim. 30 seconds left.
Takes the one-on-one.
OpTic's got to go. They haven't contested at all. They haven't stopped the clock.
They've got absolutely no progress at all. It's just been a purple wall shutting down OpTic. Scump trying to do what he can inside events, tags up 1, but Envoy able to get away and heal up. The kill feed still all purple. There's only 10 seconds remaining. OpTic has to get in. The last man here is going to be Zuma. He's going to drop, and OpTic get absolutely 0 progress in their first offensive round.
Well, we always talk about sort of how the clock is against you. It's especially against you if you're not on the point at all.
We see some dominant control rounds, but typically they're once like the streaks come into play or the specialists come into play. That might be one of the more convincing round ones of defense I've seen. Like they didn't even touch the objective. They just got smoked.
They didn't stop the clock. Ever since the break, it was a 6-kill advantage for Midnight.
It does not get cleaner than that. Wow. Set up early map control by winning your opening gunfights and then lock it down. Wow. That was impressive.
Yeah, this is with a sub. This is just such a tough game mode, right? When you talk about control, just the ability to retake.
Look at. They had 4 deaths.
Yeah, they only lost 4.
You don't usually see that unless it's streak specialist weapons in. Like, yeah, that's as close as you're gonna get to perfect in a round 1 of a control.
And here we go, Midnight already on that B, very close to a take. Brazilian watching the flank. Oh, Scump guns him. Crim as well. There we go. The guns of OpTic able to find a set of kills. Llama got able to find one at least. It looks like Midnight will continue to go towards his B side, but that's a good life right there from Llama to at least find 2.
All right, so now you can reset for your OpTic defense. Karma was trying to push up and get aggressive towards Office, but he will get punched to the skull by Parzillion. TJ up through mid-map. There's 2 players, making 3 kind of ready and waiting. As there is just a flood of purple soaring forward, and what do you do there if you're a scout? Hey guys, the entire squad's on me. Crim tries to pick up what they can. The trade seems to go back and forth. OpTic still hold a 2-life advantage. And nothing on offense really from anyone now.
And this is the second map. You had the Hostia and the Hardpoint, now on Arsenal Control, that TJ has actually had a Maddox instead of a Saw. Right, so it's been, well, maybe they switched, right? Maybe Zuma in Control is going to run that second SOG. Maybe it was just a map of Hacienda where they only run 1, but we talked about sort of them figuring out those roles as things go on, and maybe they just want Zuma to have that SOG. So now you have TJ at 0-6 with a Maddox, right? Just those roles, if you can't figure it out, things can get very uncomfortable.
There's been so much talk about roles throughout the opening months of this game. The teams that have been comfortable have excelled. The teams that haven't have really, really struggled. OpTic trying to figure it out, but they're on the brink right now. It's going to be a life advantage now to Midnight. One-on-one here with Envoy and TJ. TJ
Shaker
gets a couple kills on the board. Yeah, he tosses him the wiggles.
There's some shaky shots right there. Sometimes that SOG can be tough. Llama Yad, though, able to find a couple. Llama Yad really on this roster, the one guy you could say has some pro league experience. Yep. You know, a bit of a veteran in himself, having a good game at 10-3, but the other guys, this is a brand new thing for them.
Welcome.
Still a lot of map control for OpTic. You can see how far those 3 nails are pushed up. We talked about the clock on that first round. Now 30 seconds left. Brack trying to find anything, but it's Karma who's able to find 2.
If you're going to win this, if you're Midnight, it's this push. You have to get in. You have to get like a 4 or 5 down scenario to get a foothold, at least set up on the point. The problem is, though, you got Crimsix at your elbow picking you apart before you can even get out. Now, just 15 seconds remaining.
Middle as well. They have 3 players going through middle. Actually, 1 jumped up in the vents. Jet Li and Brack are going to try to work through the OpTic lobby. Karma's in a spot too, but 3 go down for OpTic.
It's exactly what you need. Exactly what you needed.
4.
There's the 5 down. That's exactly what you needed. 1 good break to get a foothold inside, and now you've got a chance. What a comeback this is in round 2 for Midnight. Now OpTic have to try and storm in. A great pick from TJ, but 2 ticks across for Midnight. Brack, nice shots. He's got the TAC 5 to work with. Not going to invest it. Tippis is out.
That's
the Tippis
it. That's it.
Everybody on the floor, and that's a second round for Midnight.
Doesn't matter if he's got TAC mask or not. That change just sets them up, the last 3 players. And we talked a lot at Pro League Qualifier. That second round, that specialist economy, how important it is. He used that Tempest right there to make sure they win that, to put the pressure on OpTic. Now it's desperation time for OpTic.
It was so well done, that break. Like, if you are OpTic, if you can just avoid like a 4 or 5 down, if you can at least keep it scrappy and trade there to some degree, just make it like a 2-on-2, wait so your teammates can get back off spawn and help. Like, you have the spawn advantage there from a distance. If you can keep it up and keep it staggered, you're good. The only thing you couldn't do if you were OpTic was get smoked in that situation. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, there must have just probably been 3 one-on-ones that went the way of Midnight, right? I mean, OpTic, you're ready for it. You had all all the positioning in the world. You were set up, and now Lamayat, he's got a lightning strike.
He's 16-4, Lord Almighty.
But once again, it's Brack who's 10-4. I mean, the guy's probably been double positive throughout this series.
His stat line from this series is going to be nuts.
Zuma is able to find a couple, so pressure here for OpTic on inside that A site. Able to get one tick, but you can see what Midnight are trying to do. Are they going to try and retake this one last time? You have one player starting to work that wide angle towards the window. Here's that one-on-one, but Krim wins it. The others are going to go through vent. It's going to be Jet Li trying to find an angle, but Zuma is watching it alongside Karma. Good job for OpTic. That should be the A site, and there it is.
It's a lot better than their first offense.
Yeah, they're getting better.
Now, can they get B? They have to get this round to stay alive in this series. Otherwise, Midnight, give them a hot 3-0 to kick off the Pro League for both these squads.
Sounds like Annihilator is out. Maybe on the side of Parzilian? Yeah, it looks like he used it. Doesn't find anything, so you don't have the Annihilator if you're Midnight. But the kills and the map control do go your way.
You have the War Machine. That's the main thing you have to work with. Envoy's going to drop, so no War Machine now. Annihilator available for Crim6. Wow, okay, he got 10 HP, back down from that fight.
I mean, every time, well, a few times we've watched Parzilian versus Krim, Parzilian has come out on top in those 1v1s.
He's nasty.
Yeah. Shump just trying to stay alive, waiting for his reinforcements. Does have Zuma with him. Zuma having a much better game here. I think he was 1-7 in that game too. Not a great S&D performance. Jet Li though flies on in, finds all three. You heard that grapple and you know what time it is. Now it's Krim trying to find anything he can with that Annihilator. Nobody's giving him anything. Nobody's giving him anything on the side of Midnight.
Something
Midnight
cool about someone named Jet Li just drop kicking
like
that. Yeah. All the kills just going their way. The Annihilator comes up empty. 4-kill advantage now for Midnight. And you've got one push. OpTic has to do what Midnight just did in the last game. It's almost the exact same scenario. They have to break in. They've got to get a perfect push through. There's a start. There it is. There it is. That's 3 down.
Specialist as well. Karma, he's going to pop that. Actually, it's Envoy. Pops the War Machine. Karma does have this. Oh, they don't have anything.
What a play, though.
Oh, but TJ's still alive. TJ able to find 2. 6 on 6. No more War Machine. Karma going to rotate on in. Nice 1v1 win from Krim.
Just keep trading back and forth. Jet Li can't find him for a second, but he gets some help.
You're just waiting for Karma. Karma's got to make the play. Flies on in, but he gets taken down by Parzilian. Now a 2v4. It's all on to TJ.
TJ is gone. And if you thought Red made a statement in the first series, I'll tell you what. Midnight came to play a 3-0